Hello, everyone, and welcome to Every Day is Draft Day. I am your host, Dan Turner. Joining me, as always, about ready to go hunt some maybe an offensive coordinator for the Giants, Steffi Smalls. What's up, Steph?
I'm having a great day, Dan. And do you know why I'm having a great day?
I might have a clue, but why don't you tell me?
The Giants have decided finally I love the way they worded it, actually, is probably my favorite. They relieved Jason Garrett of his coaching duties. It happened. I literally can't believe it happened. I don't know why they didn't do it before bye week, but he is gone, and that's what matters.
He is, in fact, gone after that, what can only be described as poor showing yesterday on Monday Night Football. So the rumor is that there will be Freddie Kitchens is going to be replacing him as coordinator for the rest of the season. In your opinion, does that matter? Is anything going to change? Is anybody's value going to change because of the switch at offensive coordinator?
So everyone's doing this like really sweet thing. Like I haven't been able to go through all my mentions because I know everyone's very excited for me. They're probably excited for me to stop complaining. Like let's be very clear. Giants fans were well aware. You don't have to tag me every time you were like, oh, but now you get Freddie. I understand that Freddie. I knew this was going to happen. They promoted him in the offseason. That's okay. The Giants have a million other problems that need to happen. Jason Garrett's not even the primary issue. So Freddie Kitchens calling, fine. Jason Garrett had COVID. He did a fine job that game. The fact of the matter is now someone can take over for Jason Garrett at any point in the offseason when they decide to do that. So the whole thing was getting mad at the building. I don't know how great this is going to go over, but at least it's someone that the team knows. Freddie Kitchens has been around. You saw this coming when they brought in all this extra staff. I felt like they've been preparing for this, longer than just this week, just this season. Jason Garrett has been underperforming. I mean, like I pulled some stats before this, and
we love stats here.
Big stats girl. You can tell from my Twitter. Since 2020, listen to this. This is disgusting. Points per game. Ready? 18. 30th in the league. Total yards per game, 380. 31st in the league. Passing yards per game. This one's disgusting. This one's literally vile. This is a vile stat. Okay.
I'm throw up just listening to it.
This is sickening. Okay.
All right.
204.8, 28th in the league. I don't know who the teams underneath us are, but you guys should definitely check that out. That's an issue. And then rushing yards per game, 103.7, 24th in the league. It's just not acceptable. You can't be in this rebuild. He shouldn't have got fired. He shouldn't have got hired in the first place. I think we saw what he did in Dallas. And I'm glad they at least came to this decision. I don't know that during the season was the best idea. But they made the change that they felt was necessary.
Well, I mean, I guess they needed to make it because, the Giants, it's kind of like slipping away a little bit. The division. The Giants right now are in last at 3-7. Can we expect like an improvement from Daniel Jones? Will they throw to Kadarius Toney more? Does Saquon get the ball more?
What the problem is still, and again, like this is something that everyone keeps saying. Oh, someone tweeted at me today. What was it? The Dallas thought it was the same thing, and they thought it was 99%. Jason Garrett's problem when he was gone. They was okay. I understand that. I will go and say, like, as much as we all tweet and we complain and whatever, I don't even know if 40% of the problem is Jason Garrett. Like, I legitimately feel that way. I think under 50% is 100% Jason Garrett's, it did not work. It was not working. He was not using, you're talking about a team with a lot of weapons. And, last night was a poor showing by Daniel Jones, Kenny Galladay. Like, he still made his mistakes. The O-line's an issue. You have the person that hired Jason Garrett. So there's other things beyond this too. So is there going to be some kind of resurgence? Maybe a little, but the O-line's a huge issue. I don't know how much is going to change. I think that we should see more positive than we see negative. The nice thing is actually both of our teams have the easiest schedules left in the NFC. East, you guys, the Eagles, actually have the easiest schedule left in the entire league. We have the 9th easiest. So the two of our teams have very nice weeks coming up. I think that if Dallas slips up a little, I think the Eagles I really think they could take the division. I didn't even realize until today, I guess, I don't know why, but the Eagles have quietly gotten to 5 to 6. Like, what? How is that possible? I don't even remember that happening so fast. I think it's because you guys had some in the beginning, and then you kind of had a dip down, and then now you're on this resurgence. So the nice thing is you guys have a real easy schedule and bye week coming up.
Yes, I am very excited about facing pretty much the Washington, Giants, Jets, and then Dallas at the end of the season. But hey, Dallas is already locked up the division. They might be resting their players, so we could be fighting for that wild card spot. And that's something that I expected. We were sitting at 2-5 a couple of weeks ago and hoping for a top 5 pick. But here we are. They completely transformed their offense from Jalen Hurts passing 30 times a game to us rushing 35 times a game with all our running backs. So it seems to be working so far. So hopefully we can continue that trend. Do you think that what can Daniel Jones do to improve? I mean, Jason Garrett was a lot at fault. I agree. Like, the offense wasn't very inventive. You weren't getting the ball to your best playmakers, but Daniel Jones also was throwing to right to a Tampa Bay Buccaneer last night. Like it was his pass to be caught. Is there anything that can be done to salvage him this year, or is he like a lost cause at this point?
So here's part. I think last night that entire team, you could kind of tell everyone was like just over it. Like, I don't think they just don't play like they care. Even week 4, week 5, before they had this, the injury bug happen, and Jason's like play calling went totally down the drain, and the O-line play got even worse. He was playing well at the beginning of the season. So you have to understand that it is in there. Like, he does have that, but for some reason he's sloppy, he makes mistakes, he doesn't go through his read. He was going through all of his reads. Like, that Washington game, I was like, oh my gosh, we are really seeing him actually develop. For some reason that's not happening. And hopefully Freddie Kitchens is able. I like that Freddie Kitchens at least has been on the staff, because it's not going to be someone brand new. It's someone that they at least know. But Daniel Jones has to clean it up. And what Giants fans are not happy to know is, like, there is not an option for us in the draft. So whether they decide to make some move in free agency, like next year, you're not getting your guy because of our draft position. Anyways, it's not happening. There's too many teams with harder schedules that are going to end up with a much better draft position than us, and there's not really a lot of options at quarterback. So you're better off keeping him, building from the trenches, and building around him. And then if it doesn't work out, then you have a discussion.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's best to keep him in for the rest of the year and see what happens maybe without Garrett there. I just think I think he gets a bad rap sometimes. Everyone hated the pick as soon as it was made, but he does have some talent. He does have some things to work with. He just needs a good support system that he hasn't really gotten in New York since he got there. Really,
right? And you need also, like, the play calling should try to highlight what he's very good at, right? Let's throw the ball down the damn field. Like, can I get an RPO for the love of God? Like, just, you need to do things that actually work. It makes no sense, And even I think the most frustrating part is you see games like week 4 when we beat the Saints, the beginning of the Cowboys game, like, you see the potential that is there in this team, and then it just gets totally, and especially this team, once they start playing bad, you're done. Like, there's going to be no quick little comeback there. Like, it's going to be a disaster from here on out. And I don't know. Poor Daniel Jones. He was doing so good. Remember we were talking about him? He was finishing in the top 10 QBs in fantasy, like, every week for the first couple of weeks, and they were really, he was rushing like crazy, and then all of a sudden it kind of just died off. And a lot of that does come from the O-line, and I say this all the time, it's been my biggest thing. Like, the trenches are more important than everyone thinks, especially if you have a quarterback that needs it. Like, I get it. There's some quarterbacks that, they can play a little bit better. They can play out of their butt when they don't have a very good O-line. Daniel Jones is not one of them. He's still nervous, so he gets pressure, and it's a disaster.
No, I agree. I think that the O-line is definitely something they should be addressing next year. Also, look at the health of your receivers. It doesn't seem like you've played any at all with his top guys all healthy at the same time. Right. And you made up a great point about the RPO with his rushing ability and the fact that you have Saquon in the backfield with him. That RPO would be like fantastic to use a couple times a game. I just don't get why they don't utilize the talent he has, like his legs. It's obviously he's not the best passer. We all know that. And it doesn't help that he doesn't have really any weapons that are healthy anymore besides, Evan Ingram, which doesn't really count to begin with. It just seems to me that they should definitely focus on upgrading the stuff around him instead of looking for his replacement. Upgrade like the old line, get some receivers that are healthy, and not sign Kenny Galladay to a big deal anymore.
What is that? Can someone? This is where it boils down to, right? And this is where it's not entirely Garrett's fault. There's been fundamental issues. There's been fundamental picks, fundamental movements, all these things that other franchises would not make. You don't go, and people forget, they paid Galladay fine. You know who they also paid? John Ross. You brought on, they didn't bring on one receiver. People forget this. They also brought on John Ross while you still have Slayton, you still have Shepard, you still have a tight end, a great receiving tight end. You have a lot of receiving talent on the team, and then you went and drafted Tony. I get it. And I love Tony. I think Tony will be on this team for a very long time, and I am happy about that pick. But again, something I will credit Jerry Jones. This is the only time. Ready, everyone? This is the only time I'm going to give Jerry Jones credit for anything.
Listen up.
At least he plays he plays the players that they pay. And that is at least they bring on people. And Zeke, even last year when he was falling off, they still kept him in. They still played him because you're paying him. You might as well use that player. Find a way to put that player in your playbook. And when you have a talent like Kenny Galladay, use him. I just don't understand.
I mean, I agree. I don't get it. I don't get why you throw all this money at players and then don't play them. And the fact I never really got the John Ross starting to begin with. He's fast, obviously, but he has never been healthy. He's a smallish receiver, which already have 1,000 already of. I would have, and I don't agree with the Tony pick only because you had more important areas to address before receiver.
I have never seen a team be more allergic. They were literally at every move. They even went ahead and drafted Gary Brightwell. No one knows who Gary. This guy was on University of Arizona, a running back, a team that did horrific last year. I thought they were making these moves. Maybe it's special teams. Special teams has still not been great. I think it's because, and this is someone that I wanted them to keep, and I don't know if you just saw, Golden Tate just got signed to the Titans practice. I thought we should just kept Golden Tate because at least we got, his wife is annoying and she's whatever she does. But at least, Daniel had good connection with him. He was one of his most reliable receivers besides Sterling Shepard last year. And that's someone I didn't, maybe it's you think you're getting a little bit cheaper, you're adding some depth at wide receiver, but they also had CJ Board. I mean, the list goes on and on with how many receivers they had. And I love John Ross. I liked it. I thought that was maybe special teams, maybe, but use these what are you doing? You have all this talent on the team. So again, I don't think Giants fans should be super. This is not going to be. Are we going to pull out a couple more wins? Yeah, but we always were going to, with or without Jason Garrett. I think this year. So Freddie Kitchens might get a little bit more credit than he deserves. But again, our schedule's easy. And that was. I think we have one more. I'm trying to think who we play that. I think Chargers is the last difficult game. No offense to you guys, but I'm just saying in general from a difficult standpoint, we've passed that part of our season. So again, I don't know how much credit is going to be to Freddie Kitchens, but I'm sure obviously they're going to sneak out a couple more wins. The Giants always do. I don't think they're going to lose the rest of their season. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
they have the Eagles, Dolphins, Chargers, Cowboys, Eagles, Bears, and Washington left. So not the worst schedule. And probably the Chargers and probably the Cowboys are your hardest game left. I don't really count the Eagles as a hard game because we might be doing better, but we're not that good. So speaking of winning a couple more games, this is a great transition to something I want to ask you, and something you said before on Twitter that I wanted to ask you about. How do you feel about the people that say that the Giants should just lose out for a good draft position?
Okay, listen.
I'm listening.
That is like such. There's a couple types of fans that are very infuriating. And one of the types of fans is very infuriating. Is like, just blow everything, blow all the games, and get the best draft position. That's great, and I love that journey for everyone that is super into it. But again, when you have a front office that's as inept as the Giants is, what are they going to do with those picks? What are you you still want your team to win? Like, you don't, no matter what, how much does it really matter if you're not going for a quarterback at that point? Like, there should be a way. And I think this is one of the Giants' problems. You need to be able to adapt, and they've had an inability to adapt to a lot of situations like other teams are able to. So what? You get the 5th pick, or you get the 7th pick instead of the 5th pick. Like, you should be able to adjust at that point. Just like the draft last year, you guys took Devontae Smith. Adjust from there. Like, there should be a way to move on. The Giants have failed to do that. But again, I'm always going to root for my team. Like, of course, you always want your team to win. I can't stand people that root for their team to lose. Like, are you even a fan? You weirdos? That's so weird. I'm sorry. It's just weird. And also, we have the Bears pick, who is also, they're not going to finish well. Like, I'm sorry. I don't even think firing Nagy, I mean, yes, that'll improve things, but regardless, they're still in the same position as us. Like, we're still going to have 2 probably top 10 picks. Just calm down and at least root for them. Like, it's miserable to watch your team get beat over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Bears are 3-7. Their next game against the Lions, and they have the Cardinals, Packers, Vikings, Seahawks, Giants, and Vikings again. So they're not going to win many more games. So that should be a good pick for you guys.
Yeah.
I agree with you that fans shouldn't want teams to lose, but that playing devil's advocate, wouldn't a better pick help more? Maybe get you like a Kayvon Thibodeau or a Derek Stanley. Wouldn't that help the team in the long term?
Yeah, but our
It's
team
not going anywhere this year.
They don't know how. The front office literally doesn't know how. So I can't trust the front office to actually make that good of a decision. Like, so what does it matter to me? I think there is, yes, caveat, like, there is a piece of this, okay? If we go on another 3-game losing streak, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, is it nice to end up popping into that 3, taking Evan Neal, and getting a lineman that is like part of the future? Yes, of course it is. But I think when it comes to, like, if you're not reaching for, like, this is I love the linemen in this draft, so maybe that's part of it for me. If I knew that maybe we really needed one of those top couple guys, I think there's the talent's a little bit deeper there than it is, like, at quarterback. And I think a lot of the people that want us to lose, you want us to have a top 3 pick, which one is not going to happen. We've almost knocked ourselves out of that already being a possibility. So you might as well just hope they win a couple so you can smile and not want to bash your head through a wall the rest of the season, and then just get over with it.
No, I agree. That's what people were thinking about the Eagles when they, had those 2 top, like, 3 picks at one point with the Dolphins and our own pick, and then we started winning, and people were like, crying about it. But, like, the guy that's picking the players doesn't know what he's doing anyway. So it's not like if we got there, like, we'd make the right decision. So does it really matter?
Like, at this point, do you know what's going to happen? Like, the Giants will get the 5th or 6th pick, and we'll pick a receiver. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, that is what's going to happen. So why do I care? I mean, like, I'd rather at least enjoy myself, and then when they go and mess it up, hopefully, with Garrett, I think that means, all the Giants are showing me is that they are trying to change something, which is shocking. And maybe that means that Gettleman is the next guy on the plate. But I don't think they're doing that midseason. Like, it's not the case. It would be very shocking if that happened. I think it would happen at the end of the season. So right now, if I could be happy for 2 more wins, cool. Like, I know we stink. Cool, great. But I'm not going to root for us to lose.
Right. I would die laughing if the Giants took a receiver next year. I would.
I will. I think we should take edge and all. I don't care. Take every lineman, whoever is available. Like, take them. Best player available. Stop doing this cute thing, Judge. Like, we don't care that you scouted out players. Like, please do not take players from University of Arizona. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know. It seems
but you love it.
I mean, I do and I don't. I do because, like, it's always fun for me when the Giants lose, obviously. But in a way, like my team's dealing with the same thing. Like we have good picks and everything, but we can't like do anything with them. Like we're not getting anywhere.
Right.
Like we're winning
And
a couple
don't you miss when the NFC East was fun? Like we were all really good. Like the NFC East was scary. And like those were some of the best years when it was actually competitive. Like we actually got good football games. It wasn't just like, they missed a field goal, so this team won, or it's a blowout by a losing team beating the winning team, or it's just one of the teams being good and everyone else stinking. Like that's not fun. I'm jealous of these. Like everyone hates it. I'm jealous of the divisions where it's very competitive. That's when you get great football, and we haven't had that in the NFC East in such a long time.
Such a long time. Like people were scared to come play us. All of us. And it just like you see like the divisions now, like the AFC West and like the NFC North, or besides the Lions, obviously. But in these divisions where it's been such a long time, where like even like 3 or 2 out of the 4 teams in the division have been good. It's basically just been one team where it's been the Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, whatever, that have been good, and then the rest have pretty much sucked. So it's just not fun. Like it's like I want to beat the Giants, but I also want the Giants to be like competitive. I want it to be good games. Like each of our teams trashing the other, or Dallas just blowing us all away and just winning division like in week 11. Like that's not fun.
And if there's one thing that Washington fans and Eagles fans and Giants fans can get along about, it's like we don't want Cowboys to be the only good team. Like I would rather watch another team. I don't want them going to the Super Bowl. Are you crazy? So like I just miss when we actually got to compete, and I feel like it's like a crapshoot outside of that. It really is almost anyone's game, because you know that the talent is there, and every team has their certain flaws, and there's somehow a way for any team to win. It sucks.
Mm-hmm. It does. It's been a while since we've all been good at the same time. We had like some battles. Now it's just like, oh yeah, they won, but like neither of us are going anywhere. So who cares at this point? That's what it's been the last couple of seasons, honestly.
Right.
That's not fun. Like I want to play the Giants when there's something on the line. Like the fact that just bad draft position to whoever wins.
I feel like the two of us right now, like this is like some kind of therapy session for when we literally never talk again after this weekend. Like we are never going to speak. No, it'll be fine. I think you guys are gonna win. You guys opened as 3.5-point favorites. Like that's an appropriate number, I believe. That's so? One of the lines I agree with. And you guys have just been playing better, and you put up way more points than we do. So hopefully Friday Kitchens comes in. I thought the total, 46.5.
That's high.
Yeah, that's a little high. And I think the problem is sometimes these divisional games do turn into these shootouts. It's a little high. I can't decide. I don't know if that number is going to move as we get closer, but a little bit high there.
Yeah. If it wasn't like a division game, I'd probably go the over, just because like both of our teams have been putting up points, whether it's garbage time or not. But like our division games, like a lot of times is really low scoring for whatever reason. So I don't. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Speaking of lines, they have the Giants at 20.5 points right now. Do you have it over under that?
I think that's a pretty solid number, honestly. Usually we're able to put the points up in these divisional games. I could probably take under. I think 17 would be solid improvement with your OC. So I would probably hit the under there. But again, then that makes me a little bit nervous, because you guys have, the Eagles, you guys have been putting up a lot of points. Every time you win like, what do you
really have? I don't
30
get
plus
it.
Points? Jeez. What the hell?
I don't understand.
I'm hoping, having Logan Ryan not there yesterday hurt more than people are realizing. I have to watch film later because I really was so pissed off at the end of the game. It was unbearable. My brother was here and I was like, I could not speak to anyone. I was so angry. But I think, I would take the under. I don't know that that's going to happen. We're going to have to hold you guys back though.
You will.
What I thought yesterday? Sorry, crazy thing.
Okay,
I'm only saying this on here. I will not tweet it. You know who I missed being targeted yesterday?
Who's that?
Evan Ingram. I'm like, can we get Ingram involved? My brother's like, what did you just say? I'm like, I need him to gain the ball more. Like, I actually missed him yesterday because at least he was involved. Yesterday just felt pathetic. Like, there was no game plan.
Right.
So hopefully they use Ingram. But then again, Ingram also lost the ball against you. Lost the game against you because he dropped the ball last year.
He did drop the ball. But Arcega-Whiteside got a catch too, so that made me the happiest person.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we should go on like during halftime and yell at each other.
We should. That's
Yes.
a halftime show. Absolutely, 100%. All right,
Jason, if you're watching, we're going on at halftime.
This is what's going to happen now. Sorry, not sorry. So the Eagles are at 24.5. Looking at I'm surprised.
What are they at?
24.5.
Oh.
So we haven't scored less than 21 points since week 2 against San Francisco.
Okay.
That's surprising. We scored 21, 30, 21, 22, 22, 44, 30, 27, 40. So yeah, we've been going up. I didn't even realize we scored that many points. So I'm going to take the over on that personally, because I think 24.5 is,
oh God,
is pretty right there. I think that we can.
I hope we're both wrong.
Me too. No, I hope I'm right.
You said me too. Yes.
No, I didn't.
Clip it.
I did not.
I'm getting my dog excited, right, Kaya?
Oh, the dog's here. Hello, dog. The official dog of the show. So what's your final score prediction?
Ew, I didn't think that far in advance, bro. I'm gonna be a pessimist because I'm hoping that I'm proven wrong. And I always get this weird surge of like being super optimistic going into the game, and then I want to punch myself in the face. So let's go 21-17 Eagles.
All right, I'm going to go with 31-20 Eagles.
Okay, that's a pretty good prediction. That's annoying.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns and a field goal. That sounds about right. I think the Giants scored.
Yeah. And what's weird is last year, I can't believe our games are so close together because we're going to have to meet again, which is very bizarre. Usually we get to see how it kind of plays out in the beginning, and then later we see each other again. So this was very interesting. A lot of the NFC East, all of our games are way towards the end. Yeah. So it's going to end up turning into some absurd thing. Hopefully no one ties because it's going to things are going to get weird in the NFC East from now moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of the Eagles' last 6 games, 5 of them are against the division. The Jets are the only one that's not. That's crazy that we have 5 or 6 division games all in a row at the end of the season. Like I don't really like that, to be honest. I wish they were more spread out.
I know.
Because we're going to be like facing these people like 2 weeks, and like we face you and Washington.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks apart. That's crazy.
We also have literally, I think, 2 home games left.
And they're
we have all away games.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean,
Crazy.
Thankfully, like the Giants and obviously the Giants, Jets, like we don't have to go very far except for actually we don't, because Dallas comes to us. So yeah, we don't have to leave, the tri-state area for the rest of the season. Yeah. So that's good, I guess. But yeah, I think it's going to be a solid game. I think that the Giants are going to play better offensively than they did last week. Obviously, the Eagles don't have the Bucs defense. I do think that Jones is going to throw a pick to Darius Slay, which will make me very happy. But I do think that Miles Sanders is also going to fumble and lose it, because that's what he does. He comes back and fumbles. He should just
maybe the game will just be sloppy as hell.
Maybe that'll just be like a complete joke, and we'll both just
Gosh, I hate playing the Eagles. I'm so annoyed that you're an Eagles fan.
I'm annoyed that you're annoyed. Honestly.
Okay, that's really sweet.
That's where I'm at in life right now. I'm annoyed that you're annoyed.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for your wife because she's a Giants fan. So.
Okay, that's everyone. That's what everyone does. Everyone roots for my wife. Roots for it's fine. Well, that'll do it for today's show. Be sure to check us out next week, depending on if we're talking or not, depending on how this game goes. You can follow Steph on everything Champions Route, TikTok, Twitter, MySpace,
Giants Anonymous,
Farmers.com,
Match.com, whatever.
Ask Jeeves,
WhiteClaws.com,
AOL Mail,
AOL.com.
AOL.com. And you can find me. You can find her on Twitter at Steffi Smalls with 3 L's, not 2, not 4, but 3. Don't ask me why. She was 1 and 3.
Yeah, and one of those is for Nick Foles. You know that, right?
How would I ever know that?
I'll tell you right now. The 3 L's are for Brady's 3 L's. 2 of them are from the Giants, and 1 is from Nick Foles from my alma mater. So
that is a certain type of petty that I have to congratulate you for. That's actually very awesome. You actually,
and now I can root for him, except for last.
I actually hired your estimation in my mind to like loathe to like just a very big dislike today. But that may change. You can find me on Twitter at EagleDanFF. I hope you all enjoyed us talking about Jason Garrett and the Eagles Giants, and have a good week, everyone.
See you guys.